Ovan.
It's been a long time, Haseo. Or maybe I should call you the Terror of Death. You've gotten quite strong, a lot stronger than you were back then.
The story of that type to you starts out with you playing out with Haseo, the legendary PKKer, known as the Terror of Death. Now, PKKer is a player killer, and from what I understand, he hunts player killers, or PKs who hunt players. So it's player killers, so he hunts the people who hunt the players. So it's weird. Anyway, he seeks a legendary PK called Tri-Edge. He's seeking out this person because, well, about 6 months ago, the Tri-Edge PK'd his best friend Shino and put her in a coma, and now he wants revenge. The story starts out really, in my opinion, starts out really huge and big, you know. It's up to something huge, and to that point it delivers to a certain extent. I mean, Haseo gets to meet Tri-Edge, and let's just say things don't go too well for him. He's data drained, and now his levels reduced from level 133 to level 1. Living without any items, weapons, or friend address. His desktop is completely erased and reformatted, leaving him in confusion. After this, Haseo sets on the road again to investigate and try to figure out what is going on. And in my opinion, that's what the story goes down. As it really, you're exploring, you're looking to find out what happened and what's going on, but the main goal is forgotten. And when he does this, which is to hunt the legendary PK called Tri-Edge. Anyway, since I say it was new again, the game uses as a gimmick to, well, teach you the gameplay.
This is cool.
Which I thought was pretty clever of them. And the story starts out slow, like always, and
the adept rogue.
you basically go around trying to get stronger and trying to figure things out. I will talk more about the story, but I think I will talk more about it on the gameplay part of the story. The gameplay part to explain the story, because I think I need to explain some things before I talk more about the story, about what I mean about the story falling out a little bit from its great beginning. When it comes down to it, Dot Hack GU is a very unique game, different from the other RPGs. What Dot Hack is basically a game, it's a simulated MMORPG, and so basically you play as a guy who is playing a game. Anyway, it simulates the RPG world. I think it simulates an MMO perfectly. You have your desktop item, which kind of are disguised as the main menu. On this desktop you can check your email, you can see what you got from your friends. You can go on the Yahoo then to look at news and watch some clips, which I think was done pretty well, because the clips are like all animated clips pertaining to that world in particular. And you can always also check the forums to see what's going on and whatever. Of course, when you want to play the game, which is called The World, you click on the world icon and you go there, and it looks like you're playing an MMO. Well, this is where most of the gameplay takes place, and all the story takes place anyway. See, your character's name is Haseo. He's exploring the world of Dot Hack, trying to figure out the mysteries and what is going on. Some things are going on. In this quest, he's looking for ways to find the PK known as Tri-Edge. Anyway, basically, you travel around this world You start on the tarmac anew, and then you have something called the Chaos Gate. This is where you transfer to go to certain dungeons or certain worlds. But what's unique about this is that if you want to go, they use random words, so like if you put 3 random words, you get a world. When I first place, I thought it was very unique and very cool, but I didn't realize it's just you just transfer to the same 4 levels. It's just that the levels of the monster will vary. Anyway, you go to the dungeon world and then you fight monsters, but yeah, suppose you can only fight 3 at a time. You put in like a UFC kind of cage, you can't run away. You need to have some kind of item called the smoke thing. Anyway, compared to the other Dota games, the combat has been more streamed out and more modernized. You now press X to attack. If you hold X down, you can do a charge of attack. And the combat is really fast and furious. And after a while, after beating your opponent down, beating him down continuously, they turn purple. This is your chance to perform something called a Genki combo or a Genki finisher, in which when you press R1 to activate your skill gauge, and then if your enemy is purple, you can do extra damage. Well, of course, you use the skill trigger anytime. That's when you use it, time will stop, and then you can get a breather and do an attack you want. However, it takes time to recharge. And this is my problem. And this is for the story is very integrated with the gameplay. You know, you do things, quests, you go into dungeons, looking for answers to find out what's going on in the world. And this is where I think the story really fell down on its face. As well, you start out as this powerful guy. You basically go around. This has a great story, and then after you go down back to level 1, it's like it's start over. It's like all these unnecessary scenes. All the way it's like there's a lot of filler in this game. You know, it's like there's so many things I felt wasn't really too necessary, and that yeah, some things were necessary, but some things they over emphasized and they made dragging too long. There were so many cutscenes I actually wanted to skip, but I just bear in mind. But really, after playing the entire game, I think there was more filler than actual stuff. Not that the game doesn't have its moments, it's just something that I felt dragged on to almost a little unnecessary. The game is about it'll take you about 20 hours to beat. Overall, it's kind of hard to really give this game a overall judgment of the game, as there are 2 other volumes, and let's say this is your first time playing this game, you don't know what to expect in the next 2 volumes. Will things get better, or will things be continue the same, or will things get worse? Now, see, I think that's what Namco Bandai was trying to do with this game, was splitting this game into 3 volumes. So that they ended in a way that gets your attention and you want to know what happens, but at the same time you don't know what you can expect next. And overall, I think this game could have been put in one as one game, but we'll talk more about that later in Volume 2. Alright guys, this is Crazy Kenby, and I'll see you on Volume 2.